A Babe Named Scooby-Doo by the Fistifer. I've always felt like an outcast. High school was especially harsh. I was the nerdy, sweaty guy who sat in the corner of the room. People would call me hurtful terms like weird or creepy or potential sexual predator. It seemed that everyone else had friends but me. I was so alone. Sometimes I felt like I was the only one on the whole planet who felt a sexual attraction to Scooby-Doo. It wasn't until 11th grade where I finally found someone who I could connect with. It was in my US history class. The teacher was boring, but it was still my favorite class for one reason. Victoria Susans. She was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. She had big blue eyes and long golden hair, but I could never get her to notice me. And why would she? She was beautiful and I was a total dork. One day, as I was walking to history, I felt a collision. Thud. I looked down and saw the light of my life, Vicky S., lying on the ground. Oh no, I thought to myself. Now she'll hate me for sure. I turned bright red from embarrassment. I helped her up and apologized profusely. I'm sorry, Victoria. I didn't mean to hit you, oh geez. She gave me a weird look. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I wanted to die. After a pause, she added, can you lift your foot? You're standing on my notebook. Oh god, sure, I stuttered awkwardly. I was beet red. My life was over. Vicky Susans would hate me. I'm going to have to change schools. My life was over. I knelt over and picked up her notebook. Here it is, I said, giving it to her. But then, as if by divine intervention, I realized that it wasn't just any notebook. It had a picture of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy on the cover. It even had the Scooby-Doo logo on it. I knew what I had to do. I looked her dead in the eyes, unzipped my fly, and dropped my pants, revealing my Scooby-Doo tighty whities. Her face lit up. You like Scooby-Doo too? She asked. No, I said. I love it. I pulled her into my arms and grabbed her mouth with my lips. We slobbered over each other like Scooby would lick Shaggy at the end of every glorious episode of Scooby-Doo Where Are You? With a few exceptions, most notably the movies. We kissed and kissed until the teacher told us that PDA was against school policy. So we walked into history together, holding hands. Before we went to our respective seats, she whispered into my ear, "Come to my place after class. 221 Longwood Avenue." I could barely get through history. The teacher was talking about some sort of canal, but I didn't care. I just kept thinking about my darling, Scooby-Doo, and that blonde girl. I showed up to her house, too awkward to speak. She seemed shy as well. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe we weren't meant to be. "Come on in," she said. We went to the couch and began watching Scooby-Doo. It was episode 137, a personal favorite. She rested her torso against my arm. I was so stressed and sexually frustrated I almost couldn't concentrate on the episode. Once the commercial break came on, she excused herself to go to the bathroom. When she came back, I was met with the most beautiful and sexy thing I have ever seen. I still pleasure myself to the thought of this image to this day. Vicky was dressed in a full-body Scooby-Doo fursuit. Vicky in turn was greeted with the sight of me wearing my Velma Halloween costume. Anticipating sexual conquest, I had brought my bob wig, orange turtleneck, and glasses. She looked me in the eye. "I want you like Scooby-Doo wants a Scooby snack," she said. Turned me over and slipped herself into my bumhole. "Jinkies," I said, as she penetrated my rectum. And that is how I lost my virginity. The end.